About a month ago, I went around the bay in search of the best Reuben sandwich. My first stop was the Refuge in San Mateo, where I had an amazing Reuben, truly one of the best in the Bay Area. After uploading that video, I received many comments about the Refuge. Row 9503 said, "The Refuge is better than Cats in NYC in every way." Another comment said, "Love the Reuben sandwich at Refuge." Doug Lee 650 said, "You gotta go to the original Refuge location in San Carlos." A couple weeks later, I searched the bay for the best cheesesteaks. And Timothy Wu said, "You missed killing two birds with one stone when you did your pastrami crawl at the Refuge. They have excellent cheesesteaks." Which brings me to the beautiful city of San Carlos today. I read your guys' messages and your comments about how I had to come to the original location here in San Carlos. And the Refuge boasts having some of the best Belgium draft beer available in the Bay Area, as well as slicing their own fresh ribeye for the Philly cheesesteaks, grinding their own beef for their hamburgers, and of course the famous Reuben sandwich has some of the best pastrami here in the Bay Area, as I can attest to myself, having visited the Hillsdale location about a month ago. So join me and let's head over to the Refuge here in San Carlos and try some of the menu items here at their original location. Upon walking into this gastropub, there are about 10 tables on the outside to enjoy the nice weather of San Carlos, and at least a dozen more tables on the inside, along with the bar area. Here's the hours of operation at the Refuge in San Carlos. And the owners, Matt, along with his wife, Melanie, came up with the concept after their time in Southern California, France, and Matt's love for the three main dishes at the Refuge, which include the pastrami, burgers, and cheesesteaks. And even though his main experience as a chef is for French cuisine, he desired to make the best comfort food, along with delicious draft beers. And it's a true labor of love. Just to perfect the recipe for pastrami alone took months. All right, guys, here's the menu here at the Refuge. So they have a long list of different beers on draft available. I don't partake of alcohol myself, but if you do, they have an extensive list. They also have mimosas, sangria, artisan soft drinks. They also have hard ciders, white wines, and red wines. And on the back of the menu, they also have beer in the bottle. So quite a few to choose from. IPAs. They also have beer takeout specials, which is 20% off single bottles as well as 50% off 4-packs. But this is what I'm here for, which is the food menu. So they have specials each month. This month they have a beer bratwurst sandwich during the month of September. They have soups, salads, as you can see here. Small bites like French fries, Brussels sprouts, nachos, hot wings, pretzels, poutine, artichoke dip, the Philly cheesesteaks, as I was mentioning, that I would love to try. So I definitely want to check that out, as well as their specialties like tuna melts, pastrami tacos, chicken sandwich, tilapia sandwich, of course, their famous pastrami, and they have all different styles. The Reuben, the toasted slaw 19, homage to Langer's in LA, a Swiss and mustard, Refuge combo meal. They also have their fresh ground chuck burgers here. So they have a variety of different ones. I heard the Pastrami Burger, which is a burger with pastrami on top, is really good as well. So can't wait to try the food here at the Refuge. All right, guys, so my order just went in, but I got special access to the kitchen to show you how all the items are made here at the Refuge. So this is Oscar in front of me, and he's very helpful and hospitable. Well, let's head to the back to the kitchen. How you doing, guys? All right. The first item that the chef Caesar made was the number 19, which is homage to the famous Langer's Deli pastrami and coleslaw sandwich in Los Angeles. So he starts by buttering the bread, throwing the rye bread on top of the griddle. He then takes the pastrami, dips it in the drippings, and begins to slice it to nice thick slices for the number 19 sandwich at the Refuge. And if you look up close, the pastrami looks absolutely juicy and delectable. So after slicing the pastrami and getting a nice toasted rye bread on the griddle, Caesar begins to assemble the number 19, starting with the Russian dressing, as you can see here. After putting on the Russian dressing, the final touches is to add the coleslaw, followed by the Swiss cheese, the sliced pastrami, and voila! There's the number 19 pastrami and coleslaw sandwich at the Refuge. The next two items on the list are the Philly cheesesteak and the pastrami burger. So as you can see here on the left is the ribeye that comes directly from Philadelphia, along with the fresh ground chuck that is used for the burgers at the Refuge. Next, Caesar takes the 7 ounces of ribeye that they use for the Philly cheesesteaks here and adds butter to the griddle and throws on the ribeye to allow it to cook. After adding some mushrooms and peppers, he then melted the provolone cheese onto the ribeye and threw it all on top of the bread that was toasting on the griddle, and voila, the Philly cheesesteak. Next, Caesar took one of the pre-made 7-ounce patties here in the kitchen and began to add butter for the pastrami burger. For the final touch of the pastrami burger, they added French fries along with adding some pastrami to the toasted bun, followed by adding the patty with the melted cheese on top. And there goes the pastrami burger. And the final item that was prepared in the kitchen was the goofy fries, which is now one of my favorite items on the menu. And it includes freshly fried French fries along with chunks of pastrami, garlic sauce, as well as cheese sauce. And it's an absolute perfect comfort food, as you can see here. So you guys already got a close-up of basically all the food items that I ordered here. This is the pastrami burger here at the Refuge, and it looked absolutely amazing when he was making it. Here's the Champ cheesesteak, the goofy fries with the pastrami in it. Also, the wings here at the Refuge, as well as the famous number 19. All right, guys, so I'm excited to be here at the Refuge in the original location that opened back in 2008. Melody and Matt, as well as their executive set, Michael. It was their brainchild that they opened here in San Carlos, and they were the first ones in the area to start a gastropub. And of course, as you saw, as they made the food, Caesar, as well as the wonderful staff in back, everything is made in-house. The pastrami is the best pastrami that you're going to find here in the Bay Area. And you can see the fresh ground chuck, as well as the fresh ribeye that they use for the cheesesteak here. And they also specialize in draft beer, Belgium draft beer here at the Refuge. So I can't wait to eat. Let me go ahead and get started. Where do I start, though, with this feast? Well, you know what? Let's start with the star of the show, their most popular item, which is the Reuben, or in this case, this is the number 19 here at the Refuge. And I showed you guys a close-up, but let me give you guys another close-up of the pastrami and the nice toasted bread that Caesar made on the grill and back. So first bite of number 19. So after taking the first bite of the number 19 here at the Refuge, you know what makes it different, of course, is that they use a slaw instead of the sauerkraut. So it adds like a refreshing, crunchy taste to the bite, also along with the provolone that they use. And of course, the top-notch pastrami that they use has a savory and the fatty mix of fat and meat ratio inside the sandwich. And what makes this actually, in my opinion, superior to Langer's is the fact that they give a lot more pastrami. Langer's lately has been cutting back on the amount of pastrami in the sandwich. So you end up with more slaw than meat, but that's not the case here at the Refuge. You get a nice, generous portion of meat inside the Reuben or the number 19 here. So the first predominant flavor that you're going to taste is the house-made pastrami here. So you can taste the butteriness of the bread that they use, a nice high quality rye bread, along with the delicious savoriness of the pastrami, the fattiness, the richness of the cheese, and the freshness of the coleslaw. All of it balances well together to make an excellent Reuben. All right, so I finished the first half of the number 19 here. And, about a month ago, I tried the Reuben over at the Hillsdale location, and now I got to try the number 19. I actually think I prefer the number 19 here at the original location. I'm going to give this a 9.6. One of the best, or if not the best, pastrami sandwich that you can get. So let me go ahead and move to the next item, which is the cheesesteak. And as you remember, just 2 weeks ago, I did the Best of the Bay cheesesteak tour around each county in the San Francisco Bay Area. But now I get to try it here at the Refuge. And this one is called the Champ. So they put about 7 ounces of beef, as I showed you guys in the kitchen while they were making it. And you can see the nicely melted cheese that's integrated within the ribeye here. And as you know, the best cut to have inside a cheesesteak is ribeye, and they use ribeye here at the Refuge. So without further ado, let me go ahead and take the first bite of the cheesesteak here. So after taking that first bite, what I wanted to show you guys is how they leave it a little more whole here, not as chopped up as some places might do at cheesesteak spots. So you get more meaty flavor with each bite. Also, with this particular cheesesteak that I got, they also added mushrooms. And so, of course, it's a little different from a traditional cheesesteak, but adding mushrooms adds a whole nother dimension to the flavor of this cheesesteak. And also it has little red peppers that they added as well. So nice combination of flavors. The cheese is nicely melted on. And the amount of meat that they use within the sandwich is a nice portion of meat. So you're going to get a nice meaty bite with each bite of the cheesesteak. And they use a nice soft bread. Of course, they grill it on the grill, so it has a nice toasty outside, nice soft pillowy interior. So very solid cheesesteak here at the Refuge. Let me take another bite. Mm. So if you order this particular cheesesteak, I believe it's called the Champ cheesesteak, you're really going to taste the flavor of the mushrooms with each bite. So if you like mushrooms in your cheesesteak, this is definitely the one to get. And for myself, I do enjoy good mushrooms inside the cheesesteak. So all the flavors, you can taste the butter and, of course, the meatiness and the quality of the ribeye. Very good here at the Refuge. I really enjoyed the Philly cheesesteak here at the Refuge, but let me go ahead and move on to the next item. I'll give this like a 9.1. Very good cheesesteak here. But, I don't want the rest of the food to get cold, or else I can't really get a good idea of how they really taste when they're fresh out of the kitchen. So I got the goofy fries here where they added the cheese along with bites of pastrami, as you can see here. So let's see how the goofy fries taste here at the Refuge. So if you remember in my last video when I did the Reuben video, I went to the Hillsdale location. I also ordered fries there, and they make some of the best fries in general. Its exterior is nice and salty with a nice crisp exterior. It's very potatoey and pillowy on the inside of the French fries. Very good French fries here, but of course, with the goofy fries, adds a whole nother dimension, adding some cheese on top, along with the pastrami, adding a little more meaty flavor and what's not good with meat on top. So these fries are excellent. If you like French fries, you like pastrami, it's a winning combination along with cheese. Mm. This is something that is like the ultimate comfort food. If you're just looking for some salty food to go along with your beer, this is definitely the one to get, or even a soda in my case. Mm. I'm gonna give this a 9.6. Their French fries are top notch, and of course their pastrami is excellent, along with the cheese. Must order if you come to the Refuge. I really enjoyed this goofy fry, so I'm gonna get back to eating that in a minute. But let me go on and move on to the burger, pastrami burger. And when before coming here, I was doing a little research about gastropubs and the origin of pubs in general. And it actually started, believe it or not, way back during the Roman occupation of Britain. And back then, they would have every 20 miles, they would have a tavern for travelers or soldiers to be able to stop and rest and eat some like comfort food, hearty food, along with their ales or beer. And since then, of course, it became more popular in 1830 when there was a Beer House Act, which was to promote beer rather than gin in Britain. And then to this day, that spread throughout the world where there's pubs. And now there's gastropubs where the main focus is also on having high quality artisan food, which is the case here at the Refuge. So this, as I showed you guys in the back in the kitchen, they use their own homemade bun. They ground their own chuck daily. And of course, they make their own pastrami. So as you can see, it's a nice combination of flavors just based on looking at it. But let me go ahead and take the first bite and let you know how it tastes. Mm. Mm. There's not too many things better than pastrami and burger together. The It's very meaty, comforting. The bread is nice and soft and pillowy, and yet look, it stays dry, so there's no sogginess to the bread at all. So this is a very good bread that they use here at the Refuge, and this is like an ultimate pub food here. Mm. This burger and pastrami sandwich, I'm going to give this like a 9.5. If you like burgers, if you like pastrami, definitely order it here. Excellent combination of flavors, saltiness, meatiness. The bread is top notch. Of course, the French fries here that are accompanying it are some of the best French fries that you're going to get here in the Bay. But let me go ahead and move on to the last item, which is last but not least, which is the best pub food of all time, which is, of course, is wings. And they give you a little ranch with it, along with some carrots and celery, which are the perfect accompaniments with buffalo wings. But let me go ahead and grab one of these wings. And of course, they're freshly fried in back. I didn't show you guys that, but I'm going to take a little dip, a little baptism in the house-made ranch here at the Refuge. And let me take the first bite. So it's nice and moist, freshly fried. As you can see, it's not dry at all. You know, sometimes restaurants will overcook their wings for whatever variety of reasons, but that's not the case here. It's nice and tender and moist, and a light batter on it. Their ranch sauce is good as well. Mm. And why I love celery and carrots along with the buffalo wings is because it has that refreshing flavor along with the different texture. having that crunchiness of the celery with the buffalo wings. Very good wings here. So that's going to be it for the items that I'm going to try here at the Refuge. But I want to thank you guys for the suggestion of coming here in the comments. I definitely listen to you guys when you guys make comments and suggestions about where I should go. And this one is a 10 out of 10. Great recommendation, guys, and I appreciate your support and watching my videos. I want to thank Matt as well as Melanie, Oscar, and Caesar in the kitchen for your guys' hospitality and for the wonderful food here at the Refuge. This won't be my last pub. This is my last pub for the Bay Area, but in about 2 weeks, I'll be headed to a pub in London. So if you guys are watching this video up to this point, any recommendations for London, I'll be headed over there to try some of the food in the UK. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you want some delicious food along with the best beers available in the Bay, definitely come check out the Refuge in San Carlos. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.